Welcome back to another Top 10s Day Wednesday video. In today's video, we're going to talk about my 10 favorite spot removal spells. Disrupting opponents can be an important feature when crafting decks and playing Magic the Gathering. Players have preferred a go-to removal spell for each color combination, and format. In this video, we're going to discuss my 10 favorite spot removal spells. For the purposes of clarity, this is not a list of the 10 most powerful spot removal spells, or even the most played. This is a personal list of removal spells that I use with the greatest frequency. Certain preferences will be noticeable throughout this list. I tend to prefer instant spells that exile, target any permanent or non-land permanent, or offer more versatility than run-of-the-mill disenchant and doomblade effects. Let's begin. Number 10 on this list is Krosen Grip. This spell destroys target artifact or enchantment for 2 and a green. This investment of mana versus return is not warranted for inclusion in many decks. However, the split-second mechanic lends a higher value to this removal spell. As long as Krosen Grip is on the stack, players can't cast spells or activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. Basically, this spell can't be countered, which means a well-timed Krosen Grip can ruin a player's ability to abuse a game-ending artifact and or enchantment combo due to the presence of Split Second. If there are any combo players in your metagame or LGS, then I recommend including Krosen Grip in any decks that can support it. Number 9 on this list is Return to Dust. Paying 2 and 2 white in order to exile an artifact or enchantment at instant speed is nearly unplayable. The true value of this spell is casting it during your main phase. For the same 2 and 2 white, you can exile a target artifact or enchantment, and then exile another target artifact or enchantment. Exiling permanents is much more powerful than destroying them because of the litany of ways players can return permanents from their graveyards to their hand or the battlefield. With so many problematic artifacts and enchantments throughout Magic's various formats, I never mind spending 4 mana and exiling 2 of them during my main phase. Number 8 on this list is Pongifi and Rapid Hybridization. These 2 spells share a spot on this list because they basically do the same thing for the exact same investment of mana. By paying a single, solitary blue mana, Pongifi and Rapid Hybridization each destroy a target creature and prevents it from being regenerated. The only difference in these spells is what's left in their wake. Pongifi leaves behind a 3/3 green ape creature token, while Rapid Hybridization gifts the controller of the destroyed creature with a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token. Replacing a problematic or troublesome creature with a 3/3 creature token for the investment of 1 blue mana is more than reasonable. Why can blue do this? Number 7 on this list is Oblation. Admittedly, I may use this spot removal spell on my own permanents as much as I do my opponents. For 2 and a white, the owner of target non-land permanent shuffles it into their library and then draws 2 cards. Only in the most dire of circumstances am I comfortable with putting 2 cards into one of my opponent's hand by targeting one of their non-land permanents. Sometimes the circumstances and board state dictate that it is a necessity to do so. When able, I prefer casting this on one of my own permanents in order to draw a couple of cards. Perhaps on a chump-blocking creature token or a powerful permanent that was just targeted for exile. Versatility reigns supreme with this spell. Number 6 on this list is Reality Shift. For 1 and a blue, you exile target creature. Even without additional text, as a blue spell, this is playable. However, that would make it too powerful, so there is a potential drawback. The exiled creature's controller manifests the top card of their library. There is an element of risk when targeting an opponent's creature for exile with this spell. It is possible that the manifested creature is more problematic or troublesome than the exiled creature. Often, the benefit of exiling a creature outweighs the potential risk of what card gets manifested. As a bonus, and similar to Oblation, this removal spell could be used on your own creature for the potential of greater reward. Why can blue do this? Number 5 on this list is Utter End. Exile, target, non-land, permanent. 4 words of text for 4 mana. The 4 mana is steep and is tied for the highest converted mana cost of any removal spell on this list with Return to Dust. It's also in 2 colors, our first multicolored card to make this list. The versatility of targeting any non-land permanent leverages the higher converted mana cost. Although popular in the EDH format, it probably should be more popular, in just over 20% of decks listed through EDHREC.com. The ability to exile a creature, artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker without any drawback for 2 white and a black at instant speed in a format where mana is plentiful should warrant a greater consideration of usage. Number 4 on this list is Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile. These 2 spells share a spot on this list because they basically do the same thing for the exact same investment of mana. By paying a single, solitary white mana, you exile target creature. Each spell has its drawback. Swords to Plowshares allows the controller of the exiled creature to gain life equal to its power. Path to Exile allows the controller of the exiled creature the option to search their library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. The life gain is usually inconsequential, but the gift of a free basic land is noteworthy. When needed, I have cast these spells on my own creatures many times in the past. I bet you thought that these spells would be higher on this list. Number 3 on this list is Assassin's Trophy. This Golgari instant destroys target permanent an opponent controls, then its controller may search their library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield. Assassin's Trophy is the only card in Magic the Gathering history that destroys any permanent an opponent controls for less than 3 mana. That's any permanent. Even problematic lands like Glacial Chasm, Tolarian Academy, and Gaia's Cradle. The versatility of this spell outweighs the cost of providing a free basic land to the opponent. If not for its high price point, I would have copies of Assassin's Trophy in every EDH deck possible and play sets in every kitchen table deck supporting these colors. It's just that good. Number 2 on this list is Beast Within and Generous Gift. These 2 spells share a spot on this list because they basically do the same thing for the exact same investment of mana. Each with a converted mana cost of 3, both Beast Within and Generous Gift destroy a target permanent. Beast Within costs 2 and a green and gives the controller of the destroyed permanent a 3/3 green beast creature token. Generous Gift costs 2 and a white and gives the controller of the destroyed permanent a 3/3 green elephant creature token instead. In a format like EDH, exchanging a problematic permanent for a 3/3 creature token is beyond reasonable. In a pinch, similar to Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile, when needed, I have cast Beast Within and Generous Gift on my own permanents many times before. And lastly, number 1 on this list is Anguish On Making. I place certain premiums on removal spells. I value the versatility of removal spells that target various types of permanents. I also prefer removal spells that exile permanents as opposed to destroy them. Anguish On Making checks all of these boxes and is the most economical option available. With respect to number 5 on this list, Utter End, Anguish On Making exiles target non-land permanent for only 3 mana versus the 4 mana needed to cast Utter End. The only difference between these 2 spells is that Anguish On Making causes its caster to lose 3 life. When compared to the importance of exiling any non-land permanent, this loss of life is generally negligible and the trade-off is almost always more favorable for the caster. That'll do it for this top 10 list. Which cards made your list? Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons on the way out. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic.